Hello, Lagos. Up you, Lagos. Greetings, wonderful Up you community. Welcome to another episode of your favorite radio show, Up You with Ezinne. This just happens to be our last for the month of January 2023. Wow, we made it. This must be the shortest January that I know of. Holy, how are you guys doing? How are you all doing? It's still charge up season, and today we are charging up to become. We've charged you up to take off, we've charged you up to fill up yourself, we've charged you up to write the goals and everything. So now we're charging you up to become, and this is the last episode in the series. So please listen up and take the charge, you all. It's an hour on radio, and I'm here to keep you company wherever you may be. So let's do this, my beautiful people. Finding self, finding purpose. My name is Ezinne Kanem, and I'm your host. The topic today is woman, charge up and become. First you be, then you come. You come up, you come forth, you come true. One of the most courageous things you can do this year is to identify yourself. Know who you are, what you believe in, where you want to go. Then you charge up and become. So who is ready for this episode? Woman, charge up and become. Woman, charge up and become. Becoming. I want to become. You too want to become. What are we becoming and how are we becoming it? I don't want to talk too much on this show today because I have come today empty, ready to tap into some wisdom, to charge up and help me also to become. So you thought it was for you alone. We're all in this together. Keep it locked on Up You with Ezinne. Let's learn together. Our guest today is the one, the only Bidemi Mordi, a wisdom coach and kingmaker, a seasoned equiper in the body of Christ who has spent the last 2 decades in ministry, teaching uncommon wisdom from God's word. Bidemi is the apostolic lead for the Well Oasis International, headquartered in Lagos, Nigeria. She has led over 500,000 individuals to praise, pray, and prophesy kingdom realities for living through her daily live broadcast, Commanding Your Morning, which has aired over 2,000 episodes since its inception in 2017. Bidemi is a member of the John C. Maxwell Founders Circle coaching team. As a trainer, she offers workshops, seminars, keynote speeches, and coaching services, aiding personal and professional growth through the practical application of leadership principles. She is the CEO of Verbatim Communications and founder of Dukia Radio, a family purpose and leadership online radio station geared at empowering every listener with the knowledge to give life full expression. BMM, as she's fondly called, has authored over 20 books, including The Real Rules of Life, Wisdom of the Seed, The Theology of Work, Honor, Bankable, Destiny Navigational Application, amongst others. Bidemi's life work is to help others be calm. She's married to Mordi, SAN, and they have 3 adult children. Dear listeners, please join me in welcoming a very, very special guest on the show today. Hello, BMM.
Hey, Ezinne. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so good.
This is really good. Wow, you're good at this, girl. I'm excited.
Thank you. It's so good to finally have you on the show today.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, and you look really, really amazing.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, so shall we set the stage, because I really want you to close it all up today on the Charge Up series for us. So I'm going to quickly open the phone lines, and the number to call, the number to text, the number to WhatsApp is 0913-6000-410. Please keep the calls coming so that you can engage with BMM. Okay, so here we go. Woman, charge up and become. Can we have your perspective?
I was thinking about this morning, really, and I was saying to myself that I had gone to the point where I just saying to the woman, charge up and become, is not enough for me. I'm thinking beyond, okay, the mindset that I want to become something or become someone, into the place of actually doing the work that gets us there. I've been doing this work for over 20 years. I've been doing this work for over 20 years. I've been doing this work 20 years and more. I find that it is extremely easy for us to just talk and tell ourselves, especially at the beginning of years such like this, all the things that we want to become. And then when it's November, we begin to find ourselves not having done anything. So if you ask me what's the big deal about charging up and becoming, is to not allow it to remain an idea. Let it become an executionable point, or a figure-out-able process, so that in the end you don't just say this is what I want to do, but you actually get to do it, because it's at the point of actually doing that your becoming makes sense. Yes, that's those are my thoughts, really.
I like your perspective. You let it just grow beyond being an idea. It sounds really nice, woman charge up and become.
Yes.
But it becomes something when you execute.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so quickly, just so we set the table and everybody knows what the parameters on which we're discussing, how will you define becoming?
For me, it's really easy, because that's my life work, to help others become. What that means is personal responsibility for me is that daily I'm being revealed. So it's like having a really big onion and just peeling out one layer after another layer after another layer. So when we talk about, if you ask me, what do I think becoming is about, I'll be saying to you that it is understanding that there are many facets and many parts to you. There is a nexus, obviously. There is a place where all of it come together and they make meaning. But to be that person who lives to the extent that every single thing that in those different facets of your life that has been deposited in you by God to manifest, that's the word, to get to the place where your face as a great wife dovetails into your face as a great mother, dovetails into your place as a CEO, or whatever it is that God has called you to do. Let it be that on a daily and consistent basis, regardless of what you do, whether you give me a hug or you prepare me food or you just wave at me, let it be that it is an expression of who you are on the inside. That for me is what it means to become.
Wow. I like the imagery that you just painted, that of an onion. I mean, I think every woman can relate to that, because we do cook with onions. And we know that onions has several peels, and all the peels together is what really makes the bulb, the onions, every single peel, right?
Yes.
Every single,
Yes.
And then we can actually, take it off and take it off and take it off. At the end of the day, it reveals the real onion that we want to use. So your job, if I understand you, is to help us to peel off and peel off and peel off until we discover our true selves and our essence.
True.
And from what I heard you say, when that happens, we enter the flow where everything that we do just aligns and we keep manifesting.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Some people just know how to teach and drive it home. The phone lines are open. I hope you're all there. The number to call is 0913 6000 410. Please call us, please text us, and engage this brilliant wisdom coach that I have in the studio today. Michelle Obama, that woman that we love to love. So she wrote a book, Becoming. And in her book, she said, for me, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. I see it instead as forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continuously towards a better self. The journey doesn't end. It looks like you agree with her.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. That's why I spoke about the many facets and the many ways in which we've been resourced. If it's something to arrive after, when you're 40, you may have arrived. When you're 50, you may have arrived. But to recognize that there's always headroom. So regardless of what you've done in the past, there's still room for you to blossom and just consistently become. So arriving, as far as I'm concerned, we arrive when we actually shut our eyes in that final breath. So until we get to that point, every single day is to be lived intentionally and purposefully, for us to recognize that there's something ahead of us. Even if I did the best yesterday, there's something greater than the best in another part of my life that I need to press into and breath and allow to just go off and become a blessing to other people.
You know, two things just came to my mind now as you were talking. One was a conversation I had with my daughter. She said, oh, you Nigerian parents, you all just you almost sell your liver to train your children abroad. And then when you finish training them abroad, then you now pressure them to go and marry, and they bring you grandchildren. And after they give you the grandchildren, you just help them with the grandchildren, and then you just wait to die. You know, what struck me was the wait to die. You know, and then the second thing that was running through my head was the call you made this morning.
Yes.
To all elderly people.
Yes.
You know,
60 and above.
Exactly. You know, it doesn't stop until you stop.
No.
And then it shouldn't stop
No.
until the last breath has left you.
Yes.
You know, so as we were talking, and I was now like saying, oh my God, may I never wait to die. May I always have some becoming to still do.
It's a horrible place to be. It's a horrible place to be, to feel like I've done everything, I'm retired now, and I'm just beating time for when the end comes. I don't think that God created us to outlive our usefulness. I think that every single day that we have breath in us, there is a usefulness that is packed in us, no matter what the season looks like. So because of that, I absolutely agree with your daughter that we shouldn't be those mothers or those parents who wait to die, you know, just because we've seen our grandchildren, or in exceptional cases great grandchildren. Let it be that there's something that you're learning on a daily basis, because becoming, I've found that one of the greatest pillars of becoming is the ability to learn and keep learning, because as long as you're open to consistent learning, there will always be something new that you have to master. And as long as there's something new that you have to master, there is always a reason for the life that you have in that moment.
There is always something new to master. Every time someone comes on this show, they keep harping on learn, unlearn, relearn. We must keep learning if we must keep living and keep growing. Thank you very much, BMM.
Welcome.
Let's talk briefly about you. Your bio is very impressive. In fact, intimidating. Well done on all your accomplishments. You're a woman of many parts.
Thank you.
Pastor, coach, speaker, author, entrepreneur. All these without counting wife, mother, daughter, sister, friend. BMM, please share with us, how do you embody all of this?
This is one question I get asked. It's actually the question I get asked the most. How do you do all of these things?
Yes.
And my response is usually walk your seasons. Honestly, when I was, in the trenches of being a wife and mother, those first 10 years, those first 15 years of our lives, I did less, a whole lot less than I'm doing now. A few days ago, not more than a week ago, I was talking to a group of people, and I told them that I wrote my first book at 43. So it's not like I started at 20. I wrote my first book at 43. I proactively went into ministry that would take me hours on end out of the house when my last child went to secondary school. All of this time I kept preparing, I kept doing what I could do on a part-time basis because I was working my seasons. I did not allow myself to get in that space of I'm in a rat race. I'm trying to catch up with the Joneses. I'm trying to be who I don't want to be Ada. I don't want to be Temidayo. I don't want to be Naomi. I really just want to be me. So what that has helped me do is I recognize what is I'm capable of doing within a season, and I focus on getting that done. When another season opens for me, I'm able to do more. Right now we're empty nesters. I'm my husband at home alone. Our 3 children are adult children. They're out of the house. What that means is I can sit down and decide that this year, as long as I have health, I want to do 4 books. I want to do 5 books. But I have the time now. Time is no longer such a luxury as it was when my children were younger and I had to go from place to place, maybe go to school. They were in boarding school and a certain day you have to be there and all of that. So again, to answer your question, how do I embody all of this? I'm working my seasons. Really, that's what it is. I am working my seasons. Once a season is not convenient, I do not find myself in it. But as long as it's a convenient season for me, if it's able to deliver on the things that I'm meant to be doing, I just get on it, and by His grace, I get it done. So there are things that I have had, on my to-do list since 2015, for instance. But the season isn't right yet, so I'm not getting that done yet. So if you walk your season and just do the journey like you and not like anyone else, I think that we tend to do more when we do that.
Whoa, brilliant. So this is filling up my insights, and I hope I can express what I feel or what I've gotten. So, women, it is a walk your season thing. You don't walk in Ezinne's season or you walk in Bidemi's season. No, because we are not all at the same place. Something also you said this morning. You said the visions or the dreams or the things you want to do not get stale. Instead, they get better.
Yes.
So maybe you wanted to come on radio and you haven't had the opportunity to come on radio. Just be doing something else, but keep that dream of coming on radio alive.
And stay abreast of what happens on radio.
Exactly.
Because it's not the same way that on-air personalities and radio anchors did their work 20 years ago that is done now. So just be abreast and continue to prepare like your opportunity will show up tomorrow. Like the season will open up to you tomorrow.
So therefore, when the season eventually opens up, you're ready, and then you take off. Right? Oh, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Well done. Yes. I will also have to go and check what season I am in, because you see, even now that you've explained it, I can understand why you relentlessly wake up every day at 6 a.m. and then my phone goes on.
Actually, I wake up at 3 a.m.
Oh no, she's even raising the bar. You see, I was even complaining about the fact that my phone would beep at 6 and say time for 5 and say time for CYM. And I was, if it's the day I'm really enjoying my sleep, I'll say, but then I said to myself, but she's a woman like you, and she's there, she's calling you to command your day. Come and command your day. And I'll just join up. I used to wonder, how do you do all of that? Let me ask you this question the way I put it down. I said, each time I get notification for CYM, 7 days prayer, sister power, Oasis, I raise my hand and say, Bawo, how now? How does she do all these things? Still breathe and live. As I don't catch it today, you must share this, your superpower that you have, this superpower that you keep telling us all the time to tap into, So now you've shared one. You've told us that it's a matter of walking your seasons.
Yes.
But even at that now,
Okay, so for instance, Ezinne, absolutely, it's to see me awake at 8:30 p.m. is an exception. And I've done this for over 10, 12, 15 years.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not joking.
You go to bed?
Yes. And I actually sleep. I'm actually on my bed at 7 p.m. Unless I'm traveling, I've just come back from a trip, and the time zone thing, I'm not acclimatized yet. I'm in bed by 8 p.m.
Now because I was going to say, how are you getting in your 6 to 7 hours daily?
That's one way. So I'm in bed at 8 p.m. I'm asleep at 8 p.m. By the grace of God, also I have a supportive spouse. So we've had the conversations, and he knows that because I tend to wake up early, I do not want to go to bed late. Because at 3 a.m. my alarm goes off. On a day like yesterday, when it was 14 past 3, I was awake but I had not gotten up. He taps me and he says, "Are you not getting up?" Because it's 14 minutes past 3. Do you see that? So that's something I do. Another thing I don't do is I don't get involved unless it is necessary. See, let me tell you the idea of something I call the circumcision principle. The circumcision principle, when you think about circumcision, it's a taking away of the foreskin. The foreskin is not taken away because it is bad. The foreskin is taken away because it is unnecessary. So even in our lives, we need to prune. The things that are unnecessary are unnecessary. Do not get yourself entangled or involved. See, in my house we have a rule: if there is a wedding to attend, we make the church service. Because that, as far as we're concerned, that's the most important. That's the wedding. You see, all the other extras, unless it's our child or is our niece or somebody, we don't make those extras. Not judging those who make those extras, but because we're trying to manage our time and ensure that we do the things that are necessary the time that they are necessary, we cut out all the things that are not necessary, really. So when you do that, you find that, as the Bible would say in Ephesians 5, you have redeemed your time well. You have managed, you've stewarded your time properly. Something else that I do, because this has helped me massively, is that I'm a morning person. So I say to people, if you want me to do anything with you that has to do with my mind, don't reach out to me at 3 p.m. I can't do much for you at 3 p.m. with my mind. If you want to tap into my mind and get the brilliance that it is, reach out to me between 3 a.m. and 11 a.m. You will get the best out of me. I work faster at that time. If I'm writing, those are my writing hours. If I'm preparing courses, those are my ideation hours. Once after that time, I begin to do the mundane thing, like respond to an email, like return telephone calls, like reach out to people I haven't seen for a while. But those early morning hours are sacred for me, because the moment I allow you to break my flow, you would hinder what I'm doing. Now, again, this is not cast in stone. It doesn't mean that I haven't woken up on a day and after CYM I just decide not to do anything. Those days exist, but predominantly most of my time I take my 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. really seriously. There are not times I sparingly give to people. So if I give you an appointment for a 9 a.m. and you don't make it, it will be really hard for you to get an appointment with me again, because you just took my most valuable time and you threw it to the dust.
Wow. And I'm just whining today, you guys. What I heard is, if you don't need to get involved, do not get involved at all. Chai, I have wasted a lot of my time. Oh no. I pray one prayer. Oh Father, I want to redeem 25 years. Father, redeem 25 years for me. And right after I say, Father, redeem 25 years, I see somebody doing something. I say, what is that thing you're doing? And I just leave my lane, and I'm thank you for this. And I'm sure a lot of women will get this today. If you do not need to get involved, do not get involved. This is why they say that when you're living a life of purpose, it's a lonely life. Is a life of an eagle. You fly solo. You stay focused and get what you need to do done. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. A few things will change in my life from today. Okay, so that brings me to asking you, could you please share with us 5 questions every woman should ask and answer for herself on her journey to becoming?
I had to write this down because, again, it's something that practically all the books I've written in one form or the other, these questions feature. But for today's the purposes of this show, first question for me every single time is, does it glorify God? Does it glorify God? I know the God conversation is not a conversation a lot of us have with intention, but it's important to me. So my parameter is, if it doesn't glorify God, it falls under the bandwidth of it's unnecessary. So does it glorify God? That is, if after today I stand before my maker, after doing this thing, I stand before my maker, will I be able to look him in the eye? That is important to me. Question number 2 is, does it benefit others? Does it benefit others? Who else is going to gain? Who is at an advantage with this thing that I'm doing? Because you see, the point of becoming is not just so that I have all their plaques and all their awards and all these things. I have all the certificates to be able to show and say, I did this, I did that. The real point of becoming is impact. So who am I adding value to? Is this beneficial to someone? My third question would be, does it satisfy me? Does it satisfy me? A lot of people say to you, oh, as long as other people are getting blessed and getting things, you're getting things done, and people are being it's beneficial to other people, you really don't need to think about yourself. But that's a suicidal mission then. So I ask myself, how does this benefit me? How does it satisfy me? There must be something in me that this caters to, that this feeds. Because if it doesn't feed anything, for starters, I won't be able to continue to do it for a long time. So that is important for me. Does it satisfy me? My fourth question is, does it break another? Now, someone will ask you, if it is beneficial to someone, why are you asking, does it break another? Because some things are beneficial to some people and they break other people. So, but you have to strike the balance, because I don't want to be the one. Even this morning, before I stepped out of my house, I had a conversation with someone, and I said to her, look, I need to have this conversation because I don't want to be the one who breaks the one that I'm supposed to be building. Do you see it? So I ask myself, it's a parameter that is important to me. Does this break another? And finally, can I do it easily and consistently? I was just listening to you when you were doing the intro to this show, and I'm like, oh wow, she's good. Because I mean, I don't know that I can do this and do it as well as you do it. In fact, I know that I cannot do it, and I can't do it as well as you do. So you see that? So can I do it easily and consistently? That is important, because otherwise, after a while, you begin to say to yourself, I'm tired, I'm burnt out, I'm this, I'm that. So that consistency, and that's why, people think that the journey of purpose is to do hard things. But the journey of purpose is, as far as I'm concerned, is a cheat sheet. Do the things that are easy for you to do. Then you'll be able to do them for a really long time.
Yeah, okay, so we have a message from the platform. I can't see a name, but I'm sure, I won't call out your number online. Anyway, she says, thank you, Sister Bidemi. Whoa, the onion analogy of becoming just hit me really hard, and I believe it is prophetic for me, as just a few seconds before you mentioned it, I just finished cutting onions as I was in the kitchen cooking. I have never thought of the onion analogy as regards my season or life. I've always seen myself in the full circle of the butterfly. As I listen to you now, I know that I'm in the season where layers are being taken away from me to become all that God has called me to. Thank you. We are happy that someone is being blessed. I know many more. So since she's put it that way, I will now go to the scripture. Older women were enjoined to teach younger women to become. There are aspects of becoming, I think, that is not head knowledge.
No.
It needs to be taught.
Yes.
passed on, if you like, by sharing well-lived experiences, or even by laying of hands and all of that. What do you think?
I agree with you. There are things that can come by association, anointing by association. And if I'll show you an example, maybe not a woman to woman example, but an Abraham to Lot example. Lot was in the vicinity of Abraham's blessing, and because of that, Lot did really well until they separated and Lot went off to Sodom. The moment Lot separated from Abraham, his life went downhill. So there are things you get by the surround that you have, the association, the people that are around you. That is very important. Now, there are also things you learn by watching. When people say to me, you're very wise. So I say to people that there are many things I learned just staying in a room and just listening. I think a lot of us, when we get into rooms, want to be heard because we haven't read the room that we stepped into. There are many rooms that where I'm at, you won't hear my voice. You won't know it's that person that you see every morning. Looks like I have to really get 5 million things out in 30 minutes. There are rooms I get there and actually I agree, because that I'm timid in certain rooms. I'm not timid because I don't know what I'm doing. I give the vibe of timidity because they are learning rooms for me. So I agree with you. I call that the T2 school, and actually it's a school that I run right now. But when there are places there are things you want to learn, and nobody can articulate the words for you. You have to pay attention. You have to see how they do. For instance, many years ago when I just got married, I had to, for 1 year, I followed an older woman to the market once every week. Once every week. She had a business and she used to do supplies and at Tejwosho. But I followed her every week and I saw how business was transacted, one-on-one. And then in that space, she would go household, shopping for her home. She did bulk buying. I watched her do bulk buying. And even though she didn't say to me, Bidemi, when you want to buy the tatashe, make sure you buy this quantity. Don't buy as much as the tomatoes. I just saw it on a daily basis, on every time that I went with her. So I got to the point I learned, and that's how I've run my home for 25 years now. Do you see that? So there are certain things that can't be taught. And then there's absolutely there are some things that are taught by who you honor. It was Dr. Mike Mutov that says that honor is the key to access. Who you honor can open the doors to you that you can learn a ton of things in the process. Things that, if you had to pay for, you probably wouldn't be able to afford. So all of those things, and I guess some more, but yeah.
Whoa. And whoa again. Today is so enriching. I hope we're all taking notes. I don't know what's going on with the phone line, but please send us messages on 0913 6000 410. I was going to ask you a question, about women supporting women, that phrase, ever since it's been touted all over the place, it kind of gets to me. I don't know whether it's sitting right. For this to even be a thing, women supporting women, it presupposes that women are not supporting women, hence the call.
I don't agree that women don't support women. My greatest support system are women.
Thank you. So I think that's why it's not sitting with me, because I know that women generally support women. Yes. I don't know where that angle, or maybe I don't understand the coinage.
Yes. But having said that, I think what the issue should actually be that we're addressing is that we have to learn what support is required when it is required.
Thank you.
It's learning how to support each other, not in the act of choosing to support each other. That matters. It's learning to be able to identify what is required, what kind of support is required, to be able to find frameworks for these relationships, to define the relationships properly. And I'm talking about this so much because I wrote a whole book on it. My book, Sister Power, is discovering the power of collaborations. That's where all the Sister Power events came from. So that women can come together, and because we have the right definitions, because we are working from a commonality of understanding and principles and beliefs, we can birth the things that God has called us to birth.
Thank you. I just wanted to put that out there, that women do actually support women, because even the woman that you used to follow to go to the market interview show was a very good support for you. So can you just quickly round up this talk by telling us what women should become, how we are to become, and all of that? And it's a double barrel question now for you, because we are wrapping up. Can I also ask you to speak into the year 2023 for us, as we now come to a close of the series on Charge Up, and as we go into February, which is our election year, we're going to the polls. So please wrap us up nicely.
I want to encourage us, and I want to cheer you on. First, to say well done. Every woman listening, you've done amazing work.
Up you, woman.
Yes. Just the fact that you take the time to listen to this every Wednesday, it means that you're teachable. So you may not be where you want to be, but you have certainly not remained where you used to be. So well done on that. We have to learn to celebrate ourselves, okay? Then secondly, I want us to recognize that the way I see 2023 is the year of God's manifest intentions. There are things that we had prepared for many years that we will have the opportunity to live out in this year. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention, you're not unconsciously negligent. You don't leave your doors and your back doors open, so that you can see what it is that God has called you to do, and you can step into it and do it. Finally, I know without a shadow of doubt that you will make it nevertheless. It doesn't matter how long it takes. If you just keep at it, your breakthrough is around the corner. God bless you.
Whoa. Like I said, today is my day of whoa. Thank you so much, BMM. Thank you for joining us on this program today.
It's my pleasure.
You're doing a phenomenal job, I must tell you. And cheers to many more wins this year and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ezinne. Thank you so much.
Dear women, you have heard it all. And my take today is becoming is what it is. Becoming. It's a gradual, step-by-step journeying onto purpose. I couldn't have used a better analogy than the analogy of the onions that she used today. So we keep peel off that which weighs you down, peel off that which slows you down, peel off that which frightens you, peel up, then ask yourself those all important 5 questions. Does it please God? Does it benefit everybody?
Does it satisfy me?
Does it satisfy me?
Does it break another?
And
can I do it easily
and can you do it easily, consistently, with your eyes closed all the days of your life until God says come home at 150? When you answer these questions honestly, then you have started your journey and you are becoming. Yes. Okay? So this is where we wrap up today's edition of Up You with Ezinne. It's been another amazing one. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Up You with Ezinne, TikTok, everywhere. We've taken a 360 degrees angle to this stuff because we want you to experience Up You with Ezinne at any platform that is convenient for you. Okay, and then please get copies of our books and then Bidemi's books as well. Please go look for them and get copies and keep enriching your life. The second Up You with Ezinne skill mastering class on Instagram we hold this Saturday, January 28th. The topic is basic copywriting skills for entrepreneurs. The first one was phenomenal. The second one now is coming up, and the topic is basic copywriting skills for entrepreneurs. So go sign up on our Instagram page at Up You with Ezinne, and then we'll see you on Saturday 28, 10 o'clock sharp. Big up to you and big up to everyone that is involved in creating this magic every week, starting with you, our dear listener, our guest, our advertisers, the callers, the engineers on duty, my producer Sandra, the amazing UpYou team, 98.3 Mainland FM, the sound of Lagos. You all stay strong, stay blessed, and stay lifted. My name is Ezinne. Until I come your way next time. UpYou.